Helen here with Eyes on the Game. I am here in Phoenix for UFC on ESPN 1, being joined by the man of the hour, Mr. Cain Velasquez, the former UFC heavyweight champion. Now, just days away from your big return, anticipated. How did this whole camp go for you?
Great. I had a great camp. For me, it was just the opportunity to fight here was just everything for me. To fight in front of my family and friends, it was just something that I really look forward to doing. And with my long history of growing up here in Arizona and also competing here my whole life, so it all made sense to finally come back. And camp was great. Yes.
Yeah, that's great. And your last fight was July 2016. What did you learn most kind of from this time off?
Well, the layoff, it was something that I did want to take because, I'm obviously in control of what I do. For me, it was something that I needed for myself, and I didn't know how long I really wanted to take off, but it happened to be almost 3 years, and it was all beneficial for me, being able to spend time with my family, and, being able to go in AKA to the gym and also help out some of the other guys that are training there and they had fights as well. Doing some of the coaching aspect of it and also training stuff that I really wanted to train for myself. When we have a fight and we're training for a certain guy, we kind of stay in this box of this is what I need to do for this guy. But when you don't have that, you have the ability to train just other things and kind of improve in other places that you really want to improve your game. So I've been able to do that.
And what other places are those that you're talking about?
Just little techniques, that it's all about the more tools you have in the sport, it's what's going to make you better, and again, evolving new tools, new techniques, different style of strikes that I can really use out there when I fight. So it's being a more rounded MMA fighter, also just thinking outside the box and just analyzing fights and just getting better that way, yeah.
Now, you mentioned obviously a long layoff, but it was beneficial for you. What was that thing that kind of triggered you to want to make the return and make the return now?
I think it was just the timing of everything feeling good, my body finally feeling good, being able to be in the gym for a while, and with the time that towards the end of my time off, I got approached to fight here in Phoenix, and against a guy like Francis Ngannou, which for me it all made sense. It was a perfect time for me to come back to fight here in Phoenix, Arizona, in front of my family and friends, and also to fight against somebody like Francis that possesses a lot of threats, but a guy who's very beatable as well.
Now, during your time off, so much has happened in the heavyweight division, and you mentioned your teammates and you were able to help them. Habib, Daniel Cormier, what did you make of all that noise that happened in this division and DC?
Just, just great things, for us as far as the team. We are a team, even though we go out and fight, and it's just one guy out there fighting. But we are a team. In the background, we're helping each other get ready. They're my brothers in battle, and I want the best for them. And we'll do anything that we can to kind of help each other out. Whether it's just words of encouragement, if it's things that we can help out as far as in their preparation. So I was able to do that, and just happy for Khabib and happy for DC and all the things that they've done in this sport. Yeah.
What did you think of DC's win over Stipe? I'm sure it didn't surprise you, right?
It didn't surprise me, no. I thought it was an extremely well matchup for DC. DC's a extremely fast, quick heavyweight, and I knew a lot of guys are not going to be able to deal with that at the heavyweight division. See that type of speed from a guy who's 240 pounds, that can wrestle really well, that has just great stand-up also, is something that I knew going into the fight against Stipe that I was just very confident. And I talked to DC and told him, I don't see where he can beat you, except, you getting caught. But even that's very hard. He's so quick in the movement. He's so hard to hit. So, again, I didn't see him losing that fight. So I was very confident going in. Obviously, anything can happen, in this fight game. But again, had the confidence going for him as well, and with the preparation of me and him helping each other out when he was out there fighting, or when he's out there fighting all the time. I mean, I'm out there with him, in spirit, and then when he wins, I win as well. And I know it's vice versa for him because, again, we've helped each other out since we've both started in this sport. So it's been great, yes.
Like a good brotherhood, right, that you guys have going on?
It is. We put in hard work. We see each other more than we see our families at sometimes, when we're in training camp. So we're very invested in each other, It's all about helping each other achieve a goal that we all have, and that's to be the best in the world.
Absolutely. Now, Stipe really wanted that rematch and still wants that rematch against DC. What do you make of that?
Hey, man, if you're not getting the rematch, go ahead and fight again. You know what I mean? After my first loss against Junior Dos Santos, I didn't cry about it. You know what I mean? I went out and fought again, and it wasn't for the title. So, unless you... I don't know.
Maybe say, if you do beat Francis this weekend, would Stipe be someone that you would want to fight?
Yeah, I think for me, everyone possesses a threat. Everyone has their own challenges, and I love that challenge. I love that this sport is so different, so dynamic. You have to be pretty well-rounded at everything, but every guy is good at certain things, and I love the challenge everyone possesses. What happens afterwards happens, but hey, right now I'm focused on Francis.
Now, also about DC, he does want to fight Brock, someone who you fought and beaten for when you won your first heavyweight title. Do you think that fight is close to being, done, or where do you think the talks are with that?
I'm not sure, but I know DC wants that fight. I think it's a great matchup for him. I think it's a good matchup for the fans as well. It's a very interesting fight. It's a lot of I think a lot of good trash talking beforehand. You're gonna see just very entertaining before and during the fight. So I know DC wants that fight. Hopefully he gets it. I'm not sure where they are as far as in the talks with the fight, but yeah, I think I give DC the win on that for sure. Obviously everyone is dangerous, but again, with the right game plan, DC can go out there and just make an impressive statement.
And say you do make that statement this weekend, and I'm sure a title shot would not be far away. But where does that bring you in DC? Because I know he has said multiple times, and I'm sure you feel the same way, you guys would never fight each other. Yeah,
we would never fight. DC said he wants one more fight and then he could be done. But even if he wants to fight some more times, to me, I'm supporting him. Again, he's my teammate, he's my coach. Since he got to AKA, we've helped each other out, and that's not going to change. So we're going to be there for each other. And again, I have his back, I have his support, and whatever he wants to do, I'm behind him.
And looking at Francis, like you mentioned yesterday, how you think he still is a bit green, in this business. What do you make of how you guys match up stylistically?
Well, he's just one of the most devastating strikers of all time with his hands. He's got extreme amounts of power. He's a very big, strong, athletic guy. I think he possesses a lot of threats, but a lot of weaknesses as well. And I think the later the fight goes, it goes more in my favor for sure. But you know what? In this fight, I just have to be smart. I have to do everything. I can't just be one-dimensional. I have to show him, I have to kind of do everything I've been taught to do, and that's punch, kick, mix it with the wrestling a little bit. So really just have him respect what I have in the stand-up in order to go ahead and win this fight.
But how do you see this fight playing out? Like which round, do you see a stoppage or going the distance? Going the distance.
I just always have that in my head that the fight will go the distance. That it's going to be the hardest fight that I've ever gone through. And this is no different, So when the fight does end early and I do win, then I've done something right. But for me, it's just all about just getting the win, making it in my head that it's going to be the hardest fight that I've ever been through, and just get mentally prepared for that.
And what are you hoping to show your fans who are, so excited for your return? Like you said, it's been almost 2.5 years.
Just to show the fans that I've improved over the couple years that I've been away. That this time off has been good for myself, and it's going to be beneficial for the fans as well that are watching.
And lastly, Junior Dos Santos, someone you did beat in the rematch to win your second title. He is fighting Derrick Lewis just in a few weeks. How do you see that fight playing out?
Two guys that can strike really well. I think Dos Santos is more well-rounded, but hopefully his chin is not too damaged, and hopefully he can go out there and fight against. I mean, it's a dangerous fight for both guys. I think a great stand-up fight. So we're going to be able to see two guys that are really experienced, that can throw some heavy hands, and I think it'll be an exciting fight.